Ashport, a city on the brink. The winds of the restless sea are thick with the soot and grime of progress. The continent of Valdara is a world of adventure and magic, and this land of kings, of monsters, of heroes, is being dragged kicking and screaming into a modern age. Crime lords battle for control of the city's underbelly, and the common people struggle for survival. All the while, politicians congratulate themselves on being a testament to enlightenment. The Birchfield Institute, a shining beacon through the smoke, leads the way, merging science and magic to improve the lives of those who can afford it. The divide between the common and privileged is growing wider, day by day. Eager to shed Ashport's uncivilized past, the powers that be dismiss adventurers and heroes as mere mercenaries, charlatans, pirates. Only a select few, through sheer nerve and talent, become sanctioned by the Institute to recover ancient knowledge and artifacts for study and safekeeping.
With the eye of the Birchfield Institute turned elsewhere, our adventurers cut a deal with the shifty Mistral. He gets 24 hours, and they get an opportunity. The Reeseman Guild is looking for help with their mission to help the common man, and our heroes are eager to be of assistance. With the nobility of Ashport at a gala, the party undertakes their task to liberate some of the city's wealth, and quite successfully. Their payment in hand, an era of celebration reigns at their table at the Fog's Reach Inn, until Adelaide's handler, Roben, from the Birchfield Institute arrives, keen to know why Adelaide's Marc was let free to roam the streets of Ashport once more.
So you guys are sitting around the Fog's Reach Inn, celebrating your first victory together at the Leftrim Estate, where you just made away with several artifacts being treasures that you picked up here and there. And in has walked Roben. And Roben wears a long, dark leather coat with a high collar and rough fur lining. His hair is short and jet black. His features were very severe, but handsome, like he would charm the pants off of someone before slipping a knife into their back. His eyes were large, but always narrowed, filled with the color of charred amber, which only added to the impression that he could burn a hole in your face with a sour look. And that's exactly the expression that Adelaide is staring down at this very moment.
Roben?
I hear that you had your Marc in custody today. He motions to the bartender and then takes a seat.
There were complications.
Explain.
Well, we tracked him down, and to be honest, Roben, I was expecting some level of autonomy with all this. Wasn't that part of your sales pitch?
When somebody has aspirations to become a proctor, such as yourself, we'd like to keep a little bit closer tabs.
You were watching?
Of course we were watching. At this point, Mistral is no longer your concern. Mistral was picked up by another fetcher yesterday. However, we do have another Marc for you.
By all means, enlighten me.
You met him yesterday. His name is Gregor. He's a dwarf.
Understood. Any particular reasons that would help inform how I should approach that?
Well, we thought maybe since you've spoken with him and maybe have his confidence, that you could get close enough to take him down. We've been having issues finding him and tracking him down.
See? When would I need this by? When would I need to finish this by?
Tonight. However, if you are able to accomplish this, I can guarantee you entry into the Proctors.
Understood. All right. She'll put her hand out for him.
I'll shake it. He stands up and walks over to the bartender and pays for the drink he didn't drink. Comes back. What about the rest of you? You seem very handy.
I'm pretty occupied being a knight already of joy and sorrow. I don't really need to be part of the Proctors.
I don't think I have interest in being a proctor.
I'm sure there are other benefits you could offer them. It'd certainly help your chances of retrieving Gregor if there was more than one person on the case.
I don't really know anything about the Proctors.
I'm sure you've heard of the Birchfield Institute.
Can't say that I have.
She's new in town.
Evidently.
You beat me to it, Heather.
Well, I don't have time to go into everything right now.
Fair enough.
Adelaide leads over to Bonnie and just says, there's someone that is worth having in your corner, and definitely not worth being on the bad side of.
She just kind of nods her head to one side, like she's contemplating that information.
The Birchfield Institute is on the leading edge of technology and magic. If it helps out the lives of the people, then we probably had a hand in helping create it. We have a need for people with special talents to retrieve things for us. Magical artifacts and things like that.
And these artifacts are used to help people with technological advancements.
Technological and arcane, yes.
The people that can afford it anyway.
You'll find our advancements at every level of society. You may not find all of our advancements at every level, but you will find quite a few of them. The Birchfield Institute is a very old institution. There are many benefits to becoming a proctor, and you seem to have the skills necessary.
Adelaide's just casually drinking her wine. She's pretty satisfied with how her conversation's gone.
Just think about it. Maybe continue to help her out. We'll make it worth your while.
Is your sales pitch always so cheerful and enthusiastic?
Oh, yes, you're getting his A game right now.
Normally there is a lengthy screening process, as well as many trials that you have to go through. Not everyone makes it. Right, Adelaide?
Bonnie nods. I'll think about it.
However, second chances can be granted. And as I said, you seem to have the skills necessary. Mistral was not an easy man to find nor take down.
I don't know about that. We tied him up pretty easy.
Extremely easy.
That's sort of my point.
But you just said that he was difficult to find and take down. But he was.
Not for you, correct. Hence, the idea that you have the skills necessary.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what? Maybe you don't have the skills necessary. There is a certain level of intelligence needed to be a proctor.
We all bring a little something different to the table, Roben. We complement each other fairly well, I've found.
He also didn't even offer Marric to become one, so there is that.
Oh, it's fine. I'm used to blending into the background.
The offer was extended to all of you, assuming that the 5 of you could take down Gregor tonight. He is a blight on the city that needs to be stopped.
Don't they have a cream for that?
Bonnie just kind of snorts into her drink, trying not to laugh.
Gregor has been responsible for these robberies at several of our top benefactors.
No. Who would do such a thing?
Gregor. You met him yesterday. Are we sure he's all right?
I think you just may not share his brand of humor, perhaps.
All right.
My apologies. We might have gotten off on the wrong foot. And Marric will stand up from his stool and walk over and hold his hand up to shake his hand.
He kind of stares at it a moment and then takes it. Shakes your hand.
Pleasure to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
He's going to clap him on the back. It's like, well, now, why don't you join us for a drink? And try to steal his wallet.
There it is.
Sleight of hand check. Oh my god, I got a 17 on the die. That's 22.
Yeah, you lifted billfold out of his trench coat pocket. Doesn't seem to know.
Can I roll an insight check on Marric? to sense if that's what he was trying to pull?
Well, you need to roll a perception check.
Sure.
You don't know he's doing it, so you need to roll a perception check first.
Okay.
Should we all roll perception checks to see if we notice him doing this?
If you're interested in noticing it, sure.
That's a 21.
Nope, you don't see it.
Damn.
You might see him do something a little funny, like you're like, wait, why would he? Whatever. He's an awkward kind of guy.
Yeah, I got a 21 also.
Man.
So close. Actually, Val probably wouldn't have said anything because she doesn't like this guy.
He's like, all right. And I do say billfold, but it would probably be a money pouch. All right. I do need to get going. But if, again, you can take down Gregor tonight, then, well, you're all welcome to join the Proctors. Otherwise, you'll be paid, well.
Understandable. I do appreciate being paid.
Roben, is that an offer sight unseen, or is that another audition?
Assume that everything's an audition.
Of course.
Understood.
I get stage fright.
I can help with that. It really helps if you just picture the audience naked.
Not that kind of audition, dear.
You've clearly never been in a hall full of sweaty, blood-covered knights and wanted to picture everybody naked. It's just not pretty. Don't do it.
I have played many a night in a tavern full of stinking old fishermen.
And you chose to picture them naked?
Whatever works.
Have yourself a lovely evening, Roben. We'll be in touch.
And he walks out.
Adelaide takes a much larger swig of her wine and then refills the glass.
Is there someone else we can talk to about joining this organization?
Nobody quite as cheerful as Roben.
You mean they get worse?
And more privileged, yes.
Not well paid, though.
I thought you did something.
Marric. Oh my god.
Oh, whatever. That guy's an ass. I don't feel that bad about this.
He's my boss. Asshole or not.
He wanted to know our particular skill sets. What better way to teach him?
Everything is an audition.
His words.
Well, I'm just gonna make a 10 count for him to walk back in here.
So, you've got 32 silver and 12 copper.
All right.
And a note that says, if you stole this, fuck you. Also give me a call.
867-5309.
It's the coordinates.
Latitude, longitude.
Logan, out of character, because I think Val would know, but Heather doesn't. Do the Proctors, is it something where you can be a member of the Proctors and it overlaps with something else? Like, you don't have to be just one or the other?
Absolutely. Proctor is more of an organization like being part of the Masons. It does not overshadow what you do as your primary job.
Got it. So it would be like being part of the Elks Club or the Lions Club or something. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a service organization. It's a little bit more direct service to the particular organization as opposed to the whole, but they play it off as it being part of the whole. Are the Proctors perfect, or is the Birchfield Institute perfect? No. They do a lot of good for the city, though, as well. So there's no organization's going to be 100% perfect. They're not like, they don't feel like as shady an organization as maybe this first interaction with your characters, but overall, the Birchfield Institute is seen as a good thing for the city. And they go all around the world looking for secret artifacts and knowledge and things to bring back here to create new and better things, new advancements in arcane abilities. As a matter of fact, the Birchfield Institute is probably responsible for modern day adventuring and bringing the world into the new, more industrial age. So overall, it's been very good for everyone.
Forgot to mention in the description that Roben is an elf.
Yeah, he's an elf, sorry. 20 years.
I forgot to mention it.
Okay. So, does anyone else see 2 problems with this potential assignment?
Only 2?
Well, at least 2. The 2 big ones. One is...
reneging on a deal.
Well, we never said we wouldn't attack him. One is, we don't know how strong he is, and if they're having trouble getting him, he might be very strong. My other concern would be, if we turn him in, is he going to turn us in? We did sort of just help him do a job. I only took a vase, but still.
I think Roben may take what we did as a means of infiltration. The households up in that area of town, they're insured. They'll survive. We didn't take anything they couldn't afford to lose.
I'm aware of that. It doesn't mean it's not a concern.
Sure.
Anyone else have any concerns about this?
I could use a nap. But then I'm game.
We weren't meeting with Gregor's till tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but Roben just...
So there's going to have to be a reason for us to do it tonight.
Maybe we found something of import in the things we took, and it might be beneficial to get it to him, as it might serve the city and those who need it better than us. Maybe that could be a pretense of meeting up again. He probably wants to make his contact early-ish. I don't know. All I know is what I've read in novels. Adelaide, you've got a better head for this.
So I want to be a little clear here. After last night, it was fairly late when you guys did all that. So this is probably 1 a.m.-ish around when this is happening. So when he says tonight, he doesn't mean like right this second. He means within 24 hours, basically.
I see.
Got it.
That's good. I do want to sleep so I can get my spells back.
Right? All right. Well, if we seriously think we're going to do this, we should probably all go rest and meet back here, noon, to start planning?
That'll work. Arthur, do you want me to sleep on the floor tonight and you can have the bed?
Adelaide lifts an eyebrow.
No, I'm fine on the floor.
Wait. Didn't I pay for you to have a room?
They were double booked.
Seriously? Okay, well, do you want to come stay at the Knights Annex with me? We've got extra bunks. You don't have to sleep on the floor. Yeah, she would have been extending that offer to both Bonnie and Arthur.
Yeah, I'll go there.
All right, yeah, we've got plenty of extra bunks.
Great, sounds good. I might stay here, though, and see if maybe I can't drum up a little extra coin with a few songs. And she pulls out her violin.
Wouldn't that be, like, violining up a few coins?
Yes.
Sorry, Marric.
No problem.
You're encroaching on his territory.
That look.
Is there a kind of a little area for Bart to be playing at in the inn?
At Fog's Reach, no. It's a smaller pub, but you're welcome to play anywhere you want. But there's no stage or anything like that.
Okay, so she just kind of starts tuning up at the table.
You could just hop up on the table. It's not like we have food here anyway.
True.
Adelaide moves her wine bottle and her glass out of the way in anticipation.
Like, right? Wait. Like, no food, but hello, very expensive alcohol.
So yeah, she'll just kind of push away from the table a little bit, and set an empty cup down at her feet and just kind of start playing a little bit. Mostly sea shanty-ish style songs, since that's what she grew up with.
All right. But they're still something probably a little bit new here. I mean, there's lots of sailors and stuff at the port here, but you'll have things a little different from your little neck of the woods.
Awesome.
All right, so you guys wrap up the night, head to bed, wake up the next day, prepare your spells, do your prayers, whatever you need to do. Yeah, so you guys wake up, and there you go.
Just so I mark it down, did I end up with any silver or gold or copper or anything in my cup?
Give me a performance check.
17?
Yeah, so you'll, 2 silver and 6 copper.
Guys, I have silver now.
When Adelaide woke up in her little apartment that she lives in, she'd maybe snoop around and see if she could find anything, keep her ear to the ground about Gregor, what he might be capable of, that sort of thing, before she met up with everybody.
Give me a investigation, I believe. What is investigation based on?
Intelligence.
No, let's do persuasion or intimidation, depending on how you go about trying to gather that information.
It won't matter. I rolled a 1.
Oh, all right. So yeah, so you don't really pick up a lot of information on Gregor. I mean, he seems to not even exist in the public eye to you.
Wonderful. All right.
Can I talk to someone at the Knights Annex and try to find out more information about the organization, the Reevesmen?
Sure. Now, explain to me a little bit more about this Knights organization. Obviously, with the trend into going to this kind of industrial age, Knights and things are going to be one of the more antique groups, the anachronistic groups that are trying to maintain that kind of status quo a little bit longer. Probably going to be transforming eventually into something more like the Knights Templar style organization of being a service organization instead of being what they are. But for now, they're still knights. They are, they're part of noble houses and things. No?
No. They might have started out that way a long time ago. But they're the Knights of Joy and Sorrow. They originated as a group of clerics and paladins, priests, whatever, supporters of Wayuna, the goddess of the afterlife. And they were a good organization aimed at protecting people from the evil of the world and helping them, and a little bit religious, but also a little bit civic. I picture it kind of like 50-50, at least originally it might have been more religious. But over the years, and I'm assuming with the modernization, it would have changed and evolved. So it's still called the Knights of Joy and Sorrow because that's what they've been called for years and years. Even if they tried to rename themselves, everyone's going to be like, the who? So they just keep the name, but they're less knighthood. Like everybody can join if they meet the requirements, which I don't have fleshed out yet, but basically they're continuing to be a good organization. They help people. You can hire them to like protect a village, or if a country needs somebody to go after some sort of evil warlord or something and can't spare their own troops, they might hire the knights to go do it, that kind of thing. But they specifically are trying to do good in the world and not evil.
Okay. I like that. Wayuna is kind of a primal, ancient sort of god, right?
Correct. One of the first gods, because one of the first things people understand as a society is death. So, and something happening after.
Right. So she was created out of the original man's understanding of death.
Correct.
Man being a horrible term for all of the species' understanding of death. All right. That's great. So hopefully we'll learn more about them later. Okay, so the Knights are already starting to make that transition into more of a modern style organization away from that, which is good. They're kind of almost a mercenary for hire, but also I assume, your village is being ransacked, you can't really afford us, we'll still be their type group if they're available.
Exactly.
Okay. So you wanted to speak to the other knights in this group about what?
Just trying to see if anyone knows more about the Reevesmen, whether they do a lot of good in the city or if they're really more of a problem and a blight, like vigilante justice kind of people, or are they actually helpful?
Give me an investigation check.
That is not a good roll.
Join the team.
8. Oh.
I'll be with her and give her advantage.
Okay. Do I get advantage?
I don't know the knights, but I can give you hints of what to ask.
Well, but it's more investigation, trying to learn where to look and how to look and looking for those clues as people kind of talk about them. Because they have some information, so you're kind of trying to piece things together. So that's why we did investigation instead of carousing or persuasion. So yeah, that's fine. He can grant advantage because he can help you put those pieces together.
Slightly better. That's a 10.
10 total?
Yeah, my investigation is a +0.
So the basic understanding of this organization is a very loose term for the Reevesmen, is that they are kind of a Robin Hood group. They steal from the rich and give to the poor. Are they good? But they're not out for their own gain necessarily. Although with a 10, at least some rumors are hesitant to say that they do only good.
Got it. Can I find any information on Gregor specifically, or just in general, that's what I get?
Gregor, is one of the low-ranking officials in the organization. He's fairly, not new, but he doesn't participate a lot in the more official capacity with the Reevesmen. He's kind of an outlier. He does a lot of their acquisitions, but for the most part, he's the only one that's willing to go after some of the bigger marks out there.
Got it. So he does their dirty work. Some of it anyway.
He does dirty work, and the Reevesmen don't say no because they give a lot of things to, he gives a lot of things to them to distribute. You're not even sure with what you're hearing, the way it's being worded, if he's actually a part of the Reevesmen or he just works with them. You really can't make that distinction.
Okay. I just realized I was nodding, and that's not going to go well over audio. So yes, I get it.
So, everybody else is doing research. Marric would likely also be putting his ear to the ground, talking to his contacts in the criminal underworld, seeing if he can find any more information on like where Gregor lives, if he has any hidey holes that he likes to bolt into, where he might be found in the off hours when he's not at the Devil's Washboard, those types of things.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage.
You got it. That was a 1 followed by a 16, so 17 total.
You find out quite a bit of information about Gregor. Gregor is, while he claims to be a part of the Reevesmen don't hold to that association. They won't tell you that he's not a member, but they also won't officially say that he is. He's kind of on the fringe. He has a tendency to kind of overstep what is, like every time he hits something new or do something new, he likes to push a little farther the next time. And it's gotten him in trouble a couple times before, but he's starting to push and really push beyond that comfort zone for some of the other members in his circle. He's associated with the tailor shop, Sew and Tell.
Marric approves.
But they're not sure how. And in addition to that, you do find out that he is connected to a fence named Artis, and that not all of the goods that are said to go to the Reevesmen make it to the Reevesmen.
Understandable. There's overhead to consider, so it makes sense.
Which you would understand if he was a full member of the Reevesmen, or if he wasn't a part of the Reevesmen, but he claims to be a part of the Reevesmen, and what they're saying is that what he's saying he gets versus what he actually gives is, he's like, we're giving you 90%, but he's actually giving them 60%, So he's, and for your character, you're like, sure, that's, absolutely, yeah, that's what you do, But in general, that might be good information used to persuade other people to one way or the other. Just good information to have.
Sure. He's disingenuous. Yep, so around noontime, Marric would head back to the Fog's Reach Inn.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Val for sure, like with the information I just got about him from the other nights, she's like, well, okay, maybe he's not perfect, so I guess bringing him in's not that bad a thing. But if Marric tells her that information about him keeping more of it than he's supposed to be and doesn't actually all go there and he keeps pushing the limits, such as he might do something bad and kill somebody at some point, she'd be like, well, okay, yeah, I feel better about taking this guy out.
So your conscience is clearer then?
And I just need a reason to work for Roben.
Favor to me?
Well, I'm currently doing, that's already happening.
Money? Fame? Dames?
It's the dames. It's always about the dames.
There ain't nothing like a dame.
I would think with Arthur it'd be more
There's nothing like a dame.
the promise of magical artifacts.
Yeah, that's very appealing to him, and the adventuring and the whole organization sounds good, but he didn't know about any of that before he said no.
And the freedom.
Adelaide would have talked to Arthur and explained that if you have any sort of interest in answers and secrets and the arcane in general, then the Institute is the thing to do. as are the Proctors. They'll give you the means you need to explore those interests.
Yeah. This all sounds exactly what Arthur wants to do, but he didn't know that at the time, so he doesn't want to be part of an organization he doesn't know anything about.
So it's around noon-ish, and you guys get back together at the Fog's Reach Inn.
Logan, I hate tangent, but real quick, I forgot about my book. She would have read her book at night, the book that Marric had snagged from the house. See if there was anything interesting or fun about it.
So the book is full of some arcane theory, but it's like some of the more classic literature on it. It's the classic teachings. So it goes back to a more primal time of magic, and it looks like it would be an excellent book for a wizard or someone who may want to be learning how to make their own spells, as this would have some of the building blocks of the original teaching. We're not quite to the point where people are creating libraries of reprinted materials yet, so these books are very coveted because the information doesn't really exist elsewhere. It's just here. So this is one of those books. It's probably very, very valuable.
Would this be something that Adelaide might find useful if she wanted to start it talking about like making spells, but something she could start applying to what she does? Because that's certainly an interest of hers.
So what she does exactly? What do you mean exactly?
Like her archery.
It is something that can kind of guide you on that path. Absolutely. It's a good reason for you to look into taking arcane archer. I believe is where you're headed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If that's the color of the information that's in there, she would certainly, some gears would be turning in her head.
Well, like I said, it's arcane theory. It's the building blocks of arcane magic. I believe that rangers are arcane casters.
Yeah.
I kind of like this idea that you may be the first arcane archer, or at least, it's not a very popular thing. That you kind of found this book and you're using it to kind of study and learn how to do these things. You start applying it to your thing. Look at the thing I just made. I like that idea a lot. Absolutely.
Anything to give an edge in the auditions.
So you all make it back to the Fog's Reach Inn. Soon you order some lunch, sit down and have a chat.
Bonnie's just kind of playing softly under everything, almost more like it's kind of a comfort to herself more than anything else.
Oh.
Rather than trying to entertain people. If she just kind of like starts playing chords, going through stuff in her brain.
Is Bonnie homesick?
She might be a little overwhelmed.
Doing her sea shanty scales.
Yeah, pretty much.
Barnacles. They're she-scanty barnacles.
Hey, fish have scales.
Oh, that's true. All right.
All right, so do we all just share what we may or may not have found about Gregor?
Yeah, no, let's go ahead and just have you guys all tell each other exactly what we just told the audience so they can hear it again. That's entertaining.
Perfect.
So, no, you do. You share all the information you just came up with, unless somebody has something in particular they don't share. I'm looking at you, Kyle.
I don't talk about the book.
Marric wouldn't point out the tie to whatever the tailor shop is, whatever potential. He would leave that out. It seems to be tangential information.
So and tell.
Yeah, so and tell.
Marric doesn't want anybody else to hear how clever somebody else was with a wordplay.
That's a pun, dear listeners. That's a pun. So he would relay the fact that he's definitely not a sanctioned member of the Reevesmen. He's mostly in it for himself, seems.
All right. Yeah. I'm glad you found that information, Marric. That makes me feel better about going after him.
Good. That's, is that 2 then? 3 counting myself? Who else is not as concerned anymore?
I wasn't concerned in the first place.
I'm no longer concerned.
Good.
I mean, business is business. I'm not going to look down on him just for taking some extra for overhead, but
Business is business if we have a contract.
this is true.
All right. So where do we want to go first? Do we want to go back to the tavern that he was kind of hiding out behind, or do we want to try the fence that Marric found information on?
I do want to try the fence because I've got this vase that I want to pedal off.
Oh, the jade vase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got mine looked at yet. I don't know how much it's worth. I might just send it to my mom as a birthday gift.
I do have some nice paperweights. I wouldn't mind seeing what they're worth.
Did you both take a vase?
Yep.
Well, then sure. Dealing with that, maybe garnering a little bit of information, but just trying business as usual for now, to not raise any suspicion.
Perfect. Let's go to the fence.
Let us away.
My wine, for the record, was worth a lot of money. It was very good.
Noted.
I'm glad you liked it. Shall we then?
All right. Marric, do you know where to find the fence?
That's tough to explain.
Sorry, Alexa was just talking at me for some reason. Yeah, he would relay where, of what he had learned about the fence and where potentially they might be.
So the best place to connect with the fence you found was that any evening he is available at the Dazzling Cup.
So we'll probably want to go check out the fence later this evening.
At least during the weeks, during the weekends and things. That's the easiest way to get a hold of him. Other than that, you can use your connections in town to find him.
Yeah, that might limit our time frame.
But don't we have to take care of this issue by tonight?
By the middle of the night. It's not like once the sun goes down, our time runs out.
Oh, okay.
My assumption is that if he's busy or doing anything, he'd be doing it at night. That maybe setting up a meeting for earlier might be easier to catch him, so to speak.
You two know way more about this than I do, so...
I got a bit of hole in my breeches from those drones or whatever there was that attacked us when we went to the estate. I was wondering if you guys might want to come with me, check it out, get something patched up.
Is it on the way to the fence?
Doesn't Bonnie have mending? She can just fix it for you.
Sure.
Yeah, but I like the patchwork aesthetic. I want to get some different colored thread and kind of patch things up that way.
Make it showy. I like it.
Okay.
But not in an ostentatious way. Just something with a little bit of character.
All right, then. I guess lead the way.
Absolutely.
We can talk more as we're walking.
The name of this place is fantastic. It's called Sow and Tell.
Oh.
At least it's a memorable name.
Hard to forget.
Of course you would want to go there.
I'll go along.
All right, I could stretch my legs a bit, sure.
Bonnie just dies laughing. That is amazing.
So you guys take the walk down the street, and it's not close, but it's not impossibly far in town here. And you guys make your way over to the Sew and Tell, which is a tailor shop and seamstress. You head in, and the shop is modest. It's a good size, but it's just a very low-key kind of simple shop. They haven't done anything fancy with the walls. They have shelvings on the walls that have different fabrics and materials, several dummies that are around that have different types of dresses and suits on them. They've got a section for middle-class clothing, vests and tunics, and then some kind of just commoner clothing. Very small section of that. So they kind of cater to the middle class here. There is a woman behind the counter. Looks like she was just standing from doing some sewing. She's wearing this beautiful kind of green flowy dress, obviously professionally made here in the shop. She's got kind of blondish hair, and she's wearing glasses. And she looks up and says, "Oh, how can I help you?"
I was wondering if you might be able to help me patch up my clothing. Got in a couple of snags.
That's what we do here.
Perfect, then I found the right place.
I'm Emmeline.
Oh, I'm Marric. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, Marric, it's nice to meet you. Do you have the clothing? You can just put it here on the counter.
Yeah, Marric, do you have the clothing?
All right. And he starts to take off his shirt. He takes off his pants.
So she just kind of looks up and to the side a little bit and just waits. We have changing rooms, if you need to use them.
No, I'm fine waiting out here. Puts them on the counter. Tap, tap.
Do you also have extra clothing?
We do have extra clothing. It's for sale. It's over there.
You might want to buy another pair of pants.
I might need to get another outfit. I'll take a look. Come on, tell me what you think.
Adelaide leans over to Val and goes, I swear we passed like 3 other sewing places on our way here.
I agree with you. I'm not sure why we're here.
We both know why we're here. I think he has a crush on puns.
You think he's got a crush on?
It's a fair assessment.
She says, this is a pretty simple tear. 2 copper. Do you want me to take care of it now?
Yes, please. I'd also like a similar outfit, but in dark grey, if you have it.
As opposed to the black.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Black is very slimming, but it doesn't fit in all sorts of situations.
Of course. And she'll leave that for a second. She'll come over and just start showing you some similar style clothing.
You're expanding into colors, Marric.
I'm just lightening the gradient a bit.
Different shades of dark.
Bonnie's gonna wander over to a longish coat that's kind of a deep crimson with buckles all across it. A little bit of cuffed sleeves. Just kind of stare at it longingly for a little bit.
After a short while, she's sitting over there sewing, and you guys are doing a little shopping. You hear the bell ring, and in walks a gentleman that you recognize. He's the driver from the heist you guys were on last night.
Adelaide's eyebrow goes very high, and she narrows her eyes at Marric.
Who is enthusiastically looking at a new pair of grey slacks.
And he doesn't really notice or recognize you. He's carrying a crate. It's a sealed kind of box about the width of him. Depth is about half of that, 3 or 4 inches tall. And he just comes over and he just sets it on the counter and then turns and starts heading out.
Adelaide says to everybody, I have my own tailor for these sort of things. I'm going to go outside and take a walk. And she's going to casually make her way out and maybe spy on where that guy's going.
You guys pop outside?
Adelaide pops outside at least.
Val is not sneaky, so she's going to stay in the shop.
Right as you kind of get to the door and crack it open and start heading out, you see him climbing up onto the cart that was used last night. And he's got a bunch of these crates, all the same size, and he just starts moving on.
Like driving off? Okay. Do I have any way for me to sort of assess what side of town he's heading out to, or if he's just moving on? Like, does he stop at any other place near on the street, or is he just sort of...
Nothing here that you can see, and the way he's going, he could be heading pretty much anywhere. It's a big town.
Okay. Well, Adelaide literally has nothing to use in this situation, so she will head back inside.
Okay. Val is gonna pop up behind Bonnie. You could just buy the coat if you like it that much.
Maybe. I'm deciding.
You're drooling on it. You might as well just ask how much it costs.
I am not drooling. That would be unseemly.
Practically.
They'll charge you for the damages eventually.
So then I said, that's no hammock, that's an ascot.
Oh, God.
Oh, very, very clever. Your clothing is done.
Thank you.
Excuse me, how much is this coat?
I believe, and she comes over. She starts looking over it. 12 gold.
Well, a few more nights of playing then. It's very lovely.
Something to look forward to.
Val rolls her eyes and hands Emmeline 12 gold.
Val,
I'll get you a receipt.
You can pay me back later. Or buy my meals for a while or something.
She puts the coinage into the probably lockbox and then writes you up a receipt. Writes you, sir, up a receipt, Malik. Collects her 2 copper from you. Are you buying any other clothes?
Yeah, I'm buying another outfit. Probably one in gray and one in dark green.
She comes over, hands you the receipts, and says, well, I really appreciate your business. I do hope you come back.
Excuse me.
Yes?
How much is this? This is a beautiful crate. I didn't see it here earlier, but how much is this?
Unfortunately, that's not for sale.
It's in your shop. It's right here on the counter.
That's a delivery. Yes, it was just brought in by the delivery driver.
I didn't see that. Sorry. Very well.
It's all right. Yes, sorry. And she takes it and kind of hefts it down onto the floor behind the counter.
Was it heavy?
Yeah, she kind of had to heft it. It looks like it was fairly heavy.
If you do go into the crate business, you could just let me know, because that was a really nice looking crate.
Oh my god.
Okay. I don't think we will, but all right. Okay. You guys do anything else here?
Well, when they leave the shop, Adelaide just looks at Arthur and just goes, wow.
What?
You wanted to buy the crate?
Yeah.
No, I'm impressed.
You guys did recognize the driver, right?
Yeah. He was driving the same cart we used, and he had many more crates where that came from, so I'm assuming they deliver to a bunch of establishments in town. Whatever's in them, that is.
Interesting.
Probably spreading the goods from the recent haul. Logan, when we went to the Devil's Washboard, where Gregor was in the back room, he and the other guy were loading a bunch of crates, weren't they?
I believe that's correct. Yes.
So did the crate that was on the counter look like the crates they'd been loading?
Maybe.
A coy maybe.
For the viewers at home, that's a yes.
Did anyone else think that crate looked a lot like the ones that they were loading up when we met Gregor at the Devil's Washboard?
It makes sense. Gregor has some sort of tie to the show and tell.
And
Oh, is that why? I thought it was just because they had really awesome coats.
Yeah.
and you're just now telling us this.
I mean, the timing lines up. They were doing that last night.
Marric, I think we might need to work on your communication skills.
Or your need to be so very clever at the opportune moment.
I got nice clothes out of it, though.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. Well, from here, what do we want to do? I'm assuming you couldn't follow him.
He was on the cart. He would have outran me a bit.
So do we want to try going back to the Devil's Washboard? Maybe if the driver's out, Gregor's there by himself. That would make life easier.
It's worth a gander.
Fair enough. I think if we're going to approach him, though, what is going to be the cover story here?
Looking for more work.
Yeah, another job.
Fair enough.
We do have another job. He just doesn't know that he is the job.
Yeah.
Sure. On that same note, strategizing is never a bad idea. If we're going to approach him at the tavern, I assume we want to get him alone, if possible.
I think we should come up with 5 different plans and then
not tell each other them and just execute them separately. I think that's a great idea.
Why change the habit of every game ever?
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea, you guys.
You'll learn this about me, Val. I am the driest there is. So, just assume I'm being facetious most times.
Noted.
You should try a swim then. Might help.
Mm-hmm. She smirks, but it's just like unamused smirking.
either that or switch to white wine.
Okay, we're done.
Hey everyone, it's Logan, your DM Daddy-O. We're going to take a short break to let the players count out Roben's pocket change, and I'm going to share a few things with you. First thing I want to share with you is Artlist.io. If you're enjoying the soundtrack of the Shenanigoons, you should consider checking out Artlist.io. All of the music we use on the podcast comes from there, so if you need some amazing royalty-free music for your projects, go check out Artlist.io. You can use the link bit.ly/nerdsongs, that's bit.ly/nerdsongs to get 2 extra months free on your subscription. The Shenanigoons is a proud member of nerdsmith.org. Nerdsmith.org is a collaborative network delivering nerdy entertainment. It's fan-supported and shared with all. Nerdsmith was formed out of a desire to build a platform that could act as a meeting place for nerdy imaginations and a doorway into success for geeks with a great idea. Their goal is to build a worldwide community that empowers others to create excellent art, tell stories, and construct shared experiences that will last a lifetime. Become a supporter of Shenanigans on nerdsmith.org, or maybe purchase a Nerd Alert. There are a few things cooler than hearing personal messages on the airwaves. You want Marric to send a whisper out to a friend? Would it tickle your fancy to have Bonnie sing out a message for all to hear? Get a Nerd Alert from nerdsmith.org and have your personal message sent out to a loved one from the Shenanigoons. You can visit nerdsmith.org/nerdalert for more information. Lastly, I want to say we're building the world of Vale together. That's all the players, myself, several friends, and you. So if you have a fun idea for an NPC, a silly name for a town, or a killer magic item for the party, then tweet at us using the hashtag Shenanigoons, or you can email us at shenanigoons@nerdsmith.org. I think we've given them enough time to count out their change, so let's get back to it.
So we go to him, we tell him we are looking for more work, we prefer to speak privately about it, but I assume that's his tavern, so I don't know what we want to do. I'd prefer not storming the castle if needed.
I mean, it was pretty empty when we went. It was just him, the driver, and, oh, gosh, what was her name?
The barkeep that spit at us.
Victorina, yeah.
One thing that your compatriot said, or rather didn't say, was whether he needed to be brought in alive.
Logan, out of character, has Adelaide established a rapport enough with Roben to know if that's sort of unnecessary to state? Like, does she know if it's dead or alive?
Well, it really depends on the reason why they want him. In this case, you're going to guess that dead or alive's fine, because all they really want is for the raids to stop, the robberies. That's the only thing they've really cared about. But yeah, so for that, for the most part, they think that the robberies will stop if he's taken care of. So that's all they're really concerned about, it seems, at this point.
I would imagine the swiftest solution is more than welcome. So ending what's going on behind the scenes there is probably faster just to put him down. As long as everyone has no issue with that.
I would prefer not killing him, but if we're fighting him and it happens, that's what happens.
It'll make me feel better about taking things from him if he's dead.
That's intriguing. Closer to archaeology, then.
That's a interesting situation.
Feels closer to your day job, then, if you're taking valuables from the dead.
Good philosophy. Good philosophy.
Kind of like freelancing. I wouldn't call it a job at the moment. It just kind of started out. I was working for my parents before. Yeah. Haven't really made any money yet.
It's not like they use them in the afterlife.
A passion, then.
I do have this small container of drugs.
That seems like it will be very useful at some point. Yeah, maybe squirrel that away a little bit. Don't flash that around.
Well, you were flashing your wine around.
That was something that everyone deserved to see.
Very well.
You got squirrels of some sort?
I have nothing for that. We're all still a little bitter that we got dragged along on the sewing mission.
Bonnie is not bitter. Bonnie is so happy.
They're all flashy. You're wearing the coat?
Oh, she put it on immediately.
It's like going into a shoe store and just like leaving your old shoes like in the aisle and just walking out with the new shoes.
You know, you get drugged to a tailor place. So what?
Boo. You can't make the same pun twice, Logan.
Try me.
Come on, guys. I'm on pins and needles here.
No.
No. Adelaide will see the coat like first thing and just be like, well, that's certainly ostentatious. It makes a statement.
Love the colors. Red and black.
Thank you.
I agree. I approve of those colors. I'm biased, though, since they're Wayuna's colors, but I like them anyway.
Are Val's robes red and black?
Yep.
We're bordering on a theme here.
I think so.
All right. So should we go to the Devil's Washboard then?
Without a plan. That sounds like a good plan.
I think one possible suggestion would be maybe just do this fairly straightforward. We get his attention, we talk to him, we draw weapons and get the barmaid to leave us alone, and we deal with him.
We could just say we're here to see Gregor the way that Mistral did and go back behind the thing, and we know never to open the door on the right.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could see how far we can get before we get stopped and then just ask for Gregor. I'm personally keen on getting this done early rather than having another conversation that stalls everything. I was more referring to what happened with Mistral. Let's not let him have a conversation this time. I'd like to get this over with.
Well, then let's go.
If we end up in the same room we were in before with him, we could bar the door.
Throw a couple crates in front of it.
Sure, I'd be inclined to stay a little back, if possible. I'm more effective from a distance.
It's a fairly large warehouse.
After you.
You guys have arrived at the Devil's Washboard, which is kind of a seedier-looking little bar connected to a larger building. Doors in the corner, and you guys head on in. It's modest-sized, mostly wood adornments, older, and over behind the bar is kind of this not very attractive woman who is cleaning some things with some rags and wiping down the bar. And she sees you, recognizes you, and just kind of nods at you, and then spits in the spittoon.
Evening, Victorina.
That'll be when she spits.
Well, let's proceed.
All right.
You guys start to head towards the back, and she doesn't seem to stop you.
Is anyone else curious what's behind that door? Val kind of glances at the right side door as we're going back.
Maybe we deal with that after.
If this time.
So you guys head through the door at the end of the hallway. You are back again in the large warehouse. Gregor is in the far back towards the big bay doors, the big barn doors at the back, working at a workbench over there. He hears the door open, he looks up, and, oh, welcome back.
Hey, Gregor.
What can I do for you?
Marric is wandering just kind of around, looking at the various crates, just ambling.
There are dozens and dozens of empty crates that exact same size.
All right. Any crates that I might be able to get behind and kind of move into a flanking position?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna be stealthy about it. So I'm just gonna be like, and then be quiet.
You go be stealthy.
Oh God, no, that's terrible. 10. So I'm still whistling, just.
No, you rolled a 10. I mean, you're doing okay. So you kind of just disappeared behind some crates, and he doesn't seem to really notice.
We're here about a job.
Oh, well, that's good. We don't have another job lined up yet, but I appreciate that you're willing to help the cause. We just sent out a big shipment.
Shipment of what?
The usual. We're helping people. What do they need?
Apparently they need exactly the same thing. These are all the same crates.
Crates can contain varieties of things, Arthur.
Yeah. Well, so, all right, let me show you. So he goes over and he gets these smaller kind of real just thin wood little boxes that aren't like little perfect boxes. They're all the same size, but they're not like thick walled. They're not going to last very long. That's the idea. So we get one of these, and they're about the size of maybe a recipe box. He says, we take this, and then he goes over to some other crates, he pops them open. He goes, we fit in here with, a week's worth of hardtack, and then a week's worth of jerky, and then 10 copper each. We pop those, and then we can fit 20 of them into one of these larger crates, and then we deliver them to different drop-off points around town. They get to who they need to get to.
Adelaide's keeping her distance. I don't know if anybody else was going to him when he said, hey, come here, let me show you.
I did.
But Adelaide's keeping her distance. She's looking for a good vantage point, good shot.
Bonnie does.
So You can find a good spot where you can kind of be behind some shelving and see through perfectly, but you're still behind a little cover.
I'd like to sort of make it look like I'm also just sort of glancing around. More of a wander than a skulk.
At this point, you seem to have his confidence, and he does not seem to have an issue with you guys looking around.
Are the bay doors open?
Nope, they're closed, and they look like they're latched. How?
I'm sorry, Gregor. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, that is a neat delivery system.
Oh, it is what it is. I wish we could do more.
Out of game. We should have discussed who was going to make the first attack, because otherwise this is going to go on for fucking ever.
Oh, I was about to talk. I was about to talk. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll cut all this out. It'll look like you guys took action like swiftly and dexterously and perfectly, and hopefully it'll be in that one. It'll be hilarious.
I'm fine with building tension. I'm fine with you talking and Adelaide skirting around. Adelaide's gonna pull an arrow and shoot at him. Like that's happening once she gets a vantage point.
So you'll go ahead and get a surprise round there, and then the rest will roll initiative. Well, we'll all roll initiative.
Ooh, that is not a good roll.
That is acceptable. That is a 19 to hit.
Okay, 19 will hit. You also would have had advantage, actually, so you should roll that in case you roll nat 20.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's a 20 to hit. I'm dropping every dice on the floor. Yeah.
Don't drop your dice.
That's 7 damage, 7 piercing damage.
So your arrow seemingly comes from nowhere, and he's what the hell? And that's when we roll into initiative.
She's already notching another one, yeah.
I'm typing it in chat. What did you get, Logan?
I got a... What did I roll? I got a 8. So he kind of jumps at this arrow that's now sticking out of his arm. He gets really this pissed off look on his face. He starts reaching down for a wrench that's sitting on the counter. And that's where we go fully into initiative. Marric, you're up first.
All right. He managed to be as sneaky as possible, so he's gonna try to like stab. That is a total of 12 points of sneak attack damage.
Jeez. All right. So you pop out from underneath the counter and you stab the dagger up into him through his soft underbelly, and he is very not happy with that. 12, you said? He is definitely bloody at this point. He's definitely hurting, kind of already limping, just weak in one leg from where you stabbed into him. Bonnie.
Bonnie pulls out her rapier and slashes at him. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And 7 points of damage. Bonus action to inspire Arthur, since he's right next to her.
Okay, so how do you inspire Arthur?
I tell him to do the thing.
You don't even know what I'm going to do.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Is that +4?
It's a d6 that you can add to your attack roll.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so Bonnie comes in with a rapier, stabbing into him as he's being kind of stabbed in the leg over there. And he just kind of looks at him, wait.
Not again.
I'm actually not attacking him. I'm going to take out my whip, and I'm going to whip at the wrench he was going to grab at.
Go, Indy, go.
So, please don't. Please don't. No with that.
You're an archaeologist with a whip. What'd you want me to say?
Yeah, but I don't have a fucking hat.
Yet.
That's a very important distinction.
Or a satchel. He has a merce. Very different. So it's a fanny merce.
It's right in front.
It's a fantasy pack. A fantasy.
Yes.
So with the inspiration of do the thing, I'm going to I have a total of 15.
Okay, so you crack that whip over you hit with perfect precision this wrench sitting on the counter, and it just hits the ground and skitters halfway across the room. No way he's going to get to it at this point.
And yeah, I'll say to him, because he just said, wait, correct? I'll say, I'm listening.
So he goes next. He's just gonna kind of drop to his knees and says, "No, don't kill me. What's wrong? I'm helping people."
Well, you are a person, so I guess you are helping yourself.
That's about all that can happen in that split second. Adelaide.
Arthur says, "I'm listening," and Adelaide says, "I'm not," and then shoots him.
All right.
Nat 20.
Jesus. All right.
Fuck
so
yeah.
dice.
That could not have been more beautiful. God damn it. I'm gonna run out of fucking D8s at this point.
Well, use some of the non-fucking ones.
I just gotta go pick up the ones off the floor.
Don't interrupt them. They're trying to make you more D8s.
Fair enough. I would not begrudge them. That's 8, 9, 10, 11 piercing.
Okay, so Adelaide, go ahead and describe the moment here of his death.
Well, she got her cool quip in, and then just right through the neck, just really efficient, wanting that done.
Perfect. Goes right through the neck. You just hear the gurgling sound as he kind of just expires slowly on the ground. This poor innocent man that really did nothing to you at all, but whatever.
Job's a job.
I see where this campaign's going. It's all right. That's fine.
Val, can you stabilize him?
He's got an arrow through his neck.
My hand slipped.
Yeah, that was actually going to be Val's action. Spare the dying. So he's still unconscious, but he's not dead.
Bonnie looks a little green.
As you spare the dying there and remove the arrow from his neck, I'm going to guess, as part of that, so he can actually breathe, you hear a pounding on the back door.
Who can pick him up?
Will he fit into one of the crates?
No, they're a little too small. There are other boxes around that he probably would fit into. There's larger crates, but...
Can I put him in one and pick up the box?
What's your strength?
15.
So you're going to be in push-pull-drag territory with his weight and the crate's weight, but there is like a little hand cart you can put him on and wheel him out.
Okay, I do put him in that.
Perfect.
All right, so you put him in you put him in the crate and the hand cart all the time. There's this banging on the back, not like a aggressive, angry bang, but more of a "Hey, open the fucking door," sound.
Is it which door is it coming from?
The barn doors at the back that are latched closed.
So Marric is going to clean the blood off of his short sword. Is there a rag around that he can use for that?
There's several. Yeah, there's some rags and stuff.
Cool. So he'll wipe it off and then kind of throw the rag in a corner, like just get it out of the way.
Adelaide collects her arrows to make sure that there are no evidence.
Bonnie goes and hides in the corner. She's a little in shock.
Okay.
Bonnie, we need to go.
Okay.
Let's open the door. Best place to hide something's out in the open.
Yeah, I'll go over and open the door.
All right. So you open the back door, and the gentleman that was the assistant, the driver, is there, and he kind of looks with a start at you. You never heard him speak, unless I had him speak last time, which I don't think I did. You never heard him speak, so he seems like he doesn't speak, and he kind of just looks at you and goes, and he starts pulling the horse in, and he's looking around for Gregor.
He actually is in the loop right now. He wanted us to do a delivery, so we're just going to take this hand cart and go take care of that.
So he nods to that. I mean, he believes the idea that he could be in the toilet. It's not a big deal. Till he pulls about the cart halfway in, and he looks down on the ground and sees the wrench, and he kind of looks puzzled at it and reaches down and picks it up.
He said not to worry about that. He's kind of fiddling with it.
Give me a deception check.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm going to be pushing the cart out the bay door as this is happening.
I got a 10.
Can Adelaide be positioning behind this guy? She's slowly pulling a hand axe out.
He puts it back down on the ground.
Adelaide slowly puts her hand axe away.
The axe away. And he pulls the horse and the cart the rest of the way in and gives you a wave.
Later.
See you later.
Bonnie, let's go.
She's just kind of like walking, not really functioning.
So he brings the cart and he starts working on that, shuts the doors after you guys leave. What are you guys doing with this cart?
I'm already like down the road a little bit. I didn't stop moving.
Real close by. Adelaide slides up behind Bonnie and sort of gently puts a hand on her and is pushing her forward, like, you need to move.
She's not resisting it. She's just kind of, oh, what the hell did we just do?
I am not fast.
You did also see Val stabilize him, so he's not dead.
Yes, but there's still a very big difference between monsters and having, robots and actually people for the first time.
And a difference between chest and throat shots, I understand.
Especially when she's standing right next to him when the throat shot happens.
He's only mostly dead.
Yeah.
You only get one of those, one time, okay? We almost had a Storming the Castle one earlier, so you gotta be careful. Don't want to bore the audience with too many Princess Bride references. Like Monty Python. We only get one of them as well. One per episode, so save it. Might come in handy.
Alright, so Adelaide presumably would know or would have some sort of meeting place or contact location for delivering people to Roben.
Yeah, you would have a way of setup with Roben to do that.
I doubt it would be actually at the Birchfield Institute. I imagine they'd want to keep that a little separate.
No, it is at a produce shop called the Fresh Crate.
That's ironic.
How convenient. He's not super fresh.
Or he's really fresh, really.
We didn't put any holes in the crate. Might not be.
So you take him into the Fresh Crate. Now the Fresh Crate is a produce kind of distribution place where they bring in a lot of the produce with the farms from around the area, and then they distribute it around the city to the various groups. So there's lots of boxes going in and out. There's lots of smells of fresh and sometimes rotting fruits and vegetables. So there's a lot of smells masking things, and lots of big open spaces filled with crates and crap to hide behind. So you know that there's a particular couple of rooms towards the offices where you can take things, and you go ahead and take him over there.
All right, Adelaide, do you want to lead the way since we don't know where we're going?
Sure.
So you head over into the room there, and one of the spotters whose job is to watch for traffic in that area will head off and get Roben. And a few minutes later, with you guys in the room, Roben pops in and looks at the crate. And, good job.
He's still breathing, if that's useful to you.
It absolutely could be. Doesn't look too well sealed either.
We were in a hurry.
He goes over, he opens the crate and looks in. Any suspicions?
Of?
That you might be the ones that did this? Did anybody see you do it? To be blunt.
Nobody saw us do it.
We did just walk right in through the bar, though.
So there may be some suspicions, but nobody saw you. Well, that's how it should be. Excellent job. We'll go ahead and handle him from here. I appreciate the cart, too. That's a very nice touch.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly looked well upon carting an unconscious dwarf through the city, so...
Depends on the part of town.
He does resemble a turnip, so we're in the right place.
Roben, does this count as enough penance?
It does for me. I'll have to check with the higher-ups. But I would say that you'll be hearing from us very, very soon.
Looking forward to it.
So go home, relax, and meet me at the Fog's Inn tomorrow evening.
Very well. Absolute pleasure doing business.
It's nice to meet you all. I hope that you've reconsidered our offer. Otherwise, I'll pay you now, and there's no need for you to be there tomorrow.
I've reconsidered.
Color me intrigued at this opportunity.
Tomorrow it is, then.
Bonnie just kind of nods.
Do have a good evening. And he tosses a small coin purse on top of the crate. Have a few drinks on me.
When finals are ahead or class is getting you down, you can count on WAND Radio to be your study solution.
Send us your questions about magical mishaps, or tune in for the latest music on the mythical airwaves.
Make sure you tune in for the latest tournament results and where to find the best parties on campus. And maybe the latest test answers, too.
You don't even go here.
Never let your schooling interfere with your education, Rupert.
WAND Radio. Magic, music, and mayhem. On nerdsmith.org or wherever you download your podcasts. We are not inciting mayhem on this radio station. That's a terrible idea. How could you think that would